So one of my favorite memories with the town of Apex was actually being interviewed for the position that I currently have. I remember when I started, we were as a world all in kind of the throes of COVID and the pandemic. And I remember my interview was actually a Zoom call. It was online. And I got on, and it was three other people on the other end, and they were shooting off questions. Not rapid fire, but just get to know you questions, get to know your skill level, things like that. But what I remember, the interview was like 45 minutes to an hour long. And by the end of it, all I could think about was how I did not want to get off the phone at that moment because I was having so much fun getting to know who would eventually become my boss and coworkers and getting to know the people on the other end of the line. And I thought that was pretty special because how many times can you say you've gone to an interview and you weren't trying to get it over with as fast as possible because you didn't want to say anything dumb or whatever, right? Since the interview went so well and I felt like I really liked the people already, I was really excited to start. So I think that was a great first impression of what the town of Apex is to a lot of people, which is a very special, welcoming, warm place. And it definitely was one of my favorite memories. So my most important memory is one that I know for a fact no one has said because I have filmed 99% of these interviews, but I've edited up to this point 100% of these interviews, probably including my own. And I'm going to say that my most important memory is the one I'm living right now because I can't think of anything that could be more important than being a part of the 150th celebration because so I started with the town back in December of 2021, and even from that moment there was already rumblings from my coworkers and around the town of like what we're going to be doing in 2023 for the 150th because it's a huge deal. And what's cool about it is I know that in 50 years from now, for the bicentennial of Apex, they're going to be looking back at what we've done at this moment. And I just think that's really important and special to me and to a lot of people involved because we looked back at what they did in 1973. And it's really fun looking back at stuff like that. So to be a part of that in this moment, I'm trying to stay cognizant of why this is my most important memory. And especially up to this point, working with Apex, this has definitely been my most important. So I'm going from a really original answer to one that I've heard plenty of times, but it truly is what makes Apex home, and that is the people. Um, it's just such a welcoming place. The nature of my job and just what I do has me going around town a lot and meeting people at events and in parks and on Salem Street and just all different types of places. And I interact with people of all genders, races, job titles, everything. And I love that. I love that I get to be out there and meet people and everything. And honestly, with every good interaction I have with someone, whether it be my first meeting with them or I see them again after a few months and I've met them before and we recognize each other, it always just kind of like reaffirms why Apex is a great place to be and why I consider it home. Because this is where good people are. This is where I feel like I'm welcomed, and that's really important. My hopes for Apex in the future is to continue doing what it's doing as far as diversity and cultural events and different things like that. I really, really think it's important when a place embraces the differences in people. I've met a lot of different people in this town, a lot of different religions, races, and everything else. And I mean, everybody just wants to be accepted and feel welcomed. And I really think Apex is headed in the right direction when it comes to that stuff. There's so many great events that happen throughout the town throughout the year, and I really think it's important because Apex is growing, and with growth comes different cultures, different opportunities to learn about different parts of the world, and I think Apex is already doing a great job with that stuff, but I think if it continues to grow and keep doing what it's doing, and things like that, that's my hope for its future, is that it stays a welcoming community and people are just happy here.